Hi Jackie, so this is your spread that I've done. Your question was in regards to what does your relationship hold, for the future. So we'll jump in and have a look. Currently, 4 cards jumped out at me, not 3. So we'll go through and we'll have a look at these. So we'll go from left to right. Now I feel like these are all in regards to things that you need to do. So where you're at now, and what you need to do to change that to go to the future sort of feeling that I'm getting. So we'll go through and have a look and I'll interpret them as best I can, okay? So we'll jump over here to number 1. Oh, that decides to want to flip. Okay. Father, husband, brother, son. Now I have said in some readings that sometimes the titles have absolutely nothing to do with it. Sometimes they do. I feel this does. With the energy in the card that we've drawn, and with your question that you got, that is very strong. Now coming through, definitely husband. Now I'm not too sure if you're married or not. I'm thinking that you guys aren't, but that husband comes through very strong. If you aren't, you will be, but it won't be in the next 2 years. Is sort of what I'm getting from this card. It's not going to be soon-ish, but will be happening. That's what I'm getting from this one here. Now, if you go down and you look at the person, obviously the person in this, the person in this represents your partner. Now, he's the head of the household. I'm assuming he's the breadwinner. He's the one that makes, has the income, things like that. Or if you both work, he's the higher income, is what I'm getting from this one here. Looking at this, he's very tired. It's very mundane, things like that. So I don't know too much what he does in regards to work, but I find it's very laborious on him. Especially if you sort of look at the yellow gold. I'm feeling he's stressed, and it's financial stress is what I'm sort of getting. I mean, which, everyone has financial stresses, but I'm finding that, he may be taking this a lot harder. There may be certain things that he's feeling, but he's not telling you. So that's something that I'm sort of getting there as well. Sort of, asking questions, communicate, things like that. Just to get him out, to talk to him, for him to come to the surface with things that are sort of going on. So that's what I'm getting with that one there, that, he's in a little bit of stress and things like that. And that's what you need to do to move forwards together as, a couple and develop further. So that's what I'm getting from that one there. We'll move to the second one here. Okay, so persistence. So if you look at the difference between these 2 cards here, so you've gone from, the dark ages, back in the Egyptian times, things like that. You've moved forward, you've progressed, you've developed, so to speak, into the medieval times, which is still, you're looking back in the past and things like that. But between these 2 cards, with persistence, that's where you're going. He's going to be a lot better off, things like that. I do, however, find strongly with this particular card, I'm looking at the necklace around his neck. That to me represents that it's some form of collar. So he's leashed, so to speak. Now, you might know what this is in regards to. It could be to do with family. It could be to do with work. He's tied up. He's got the collar on. He's not going anywhere. Something's holding him back. So, again, this could be work. It could be family, his parents, extended family, so to speak, is sort of what I'm getting with this one here. So be persistent with that. Keep on in with that, just check in, make sure he's okay, things like that is what you need to do. Now, if you look at the financial one here, he's got the crown on, there's a lot more gold in it. So to me, that says your financial issues or financial stresses or financial burdens, it's definitely going to get better. It's what I'm getting from this particular card here as well. Now, in regards to that, depending on what it is, stay intuitive. So here you've got the third eye here. So you can see up here the third eye, how it's it's all got the orb there, it's shining, things like that. So that's saying that you need to stay intuitive. So if you have loans or you have shares, things like that, keep with it. Research things, stuff like that. If you're if you've got money in term deposits or things like that, or even if you're trying to save money and you have it in a bank that charges certain interests, you know, if you go over or under in negatives and things like that. Look at changing banks and stuff like that. So that's sort of where the intuitive is coming in that you need to do. So we'll jump through and we'll look to the third one here. Okay. So right, so all to do with writing, that's to do with communication. Now, that's sort of what we were talking about in the last sort of two cards. So the big card with this one here, the big issue coming through with this one is communication. You need to keep the communication up. I'm finding that that's a little bit of a barrier between you two as well, is the communication. Now, if we jump in and have a look, you've got, you know, the leader, you've got the one person. Now, normally a leader will have one staff. There's two staffs. So this is coming through that those two staffs, one represents your partner, one represents you. Having that there is only one person here, that this is a very masculine figure, that, you know, he's the one that has, you know, wears the pants, you know, things like that. But that's not the case, so to speak, being that there's two staffs. Now, to me, that shows that you also wear the pants in the relationship, but you sometimes feel that your words aren't being heard. You know, you're saying something, but they're just falling on deaf's ears, so to speak. So this is something where the communication needs to come up, and especially on his behalf as well. So he needs to start listening to you, you know, things like that. I'm finding with this card, though, now, I don't know if he's a fishing fan or anything like that, but I just thought I'd mention it because I've got a few symbols coming up here. You've got the boats, you know, on the canal down there. You've also got the moon behind it. The moon actually, you know, has a lot to do with the tides and, you know, things like that. So that's showing through a lot of stuff with fishing. So I don't know if he's a fishing nut, but if he is, let him go on some fishing trips, you know, whether it's just friends for the day, you know, things like that. That's coming through quite strong. And even if he's not, if he's a friend that offers him to go fishing, make him go, because he's going to enjoy it. It's going to stress less him, and you guys are going to be a lot better off. So again, that's a lot of communication I'm getting with this right. Now, even with the right that comes up, write your feelings down, things like that. You know, people sort of say in high school, you know, I had a diary and things like that. They're actually really good to have. Psychology-wise, they're very, very good to have as well. You know, it's you get your feelings out more when you write them down, more so than saying them, thinking them. Writing them down helps. So even if it's something, you know, you write down all your feelings and you give him a letter about how you're feeling, or write him a letter about how much you love him, you know, things like that, is what I'm getting strongly from this card as well. So I am, however, finding, you know, with the water, with the nature behind that, I feel like you guys are actually going to go on a trip. Now, I believe it may be a short trip. It might be just camping, something like that, you know, taking a trip to, you know, Bowen, Townsville, or somewhere not too far away is maybe what I'm getting from that one, but that's not to say it might not be further. I'm just finding, you know, in the next 6 months, you're going to go camping or somewhere like that. I'm getting with this one sort of with the nature, you know, and that's sort of why I'm getting camping as well. And especially around the climate that we're in as well. You know, we've just come into autumn, so, you know, not too far away. We've, you know, again, in the next 6 months, we've got winter coming here. It's a perfect time to take the family and, you know, go on a little camping trip somewhere because it's not too hot. So we'll move on to the fourth one here. Okay, so this is the big one we've got here. All right, there you go. So find the blessing, sorry, in your current situation. So what you need to do, whatever's going on in your life at the moment, especially to do with your partner, find the blessing in it. So what you need to do is every day when you wake up, you need to say something positive about you and your partner, what you excel in, you know, that can be better than somebody else, so to speak, of how you feel they are. Because you find if you get in a negative frame or you get into a bit of a rut, you stay in that. So if you turn it around, you start finding the blessing in things, you're going to do a lot better. You know, you're going to start seeing things as the glass half full instead of the glass half empty. Now, again, we were talking about the camping. Look in this one here where you've got all the, you know, the nature and everything around there. So definitely, you know, in the next 6 months, you guys are going to go on a nice little, you know, family trip together. And it's really going to rekindle some things with you guys and, you know, get you back into the groove of things, so to speak. So that's something I would definitely do and start looking at. So all in all with these ones here, and also again looking at this one here, if you look at the you know, you've got the God here, there's a celebration, you know, there's beautiful attire and clothing. Now it's not so much I see formal but informal, but still a good party. To me that represents a wedding. So again, not in the next 2 years I'm finding, but, you know, after the next 2 years, I feel that there's going to be a wedding, or there's going to be vows, or the anniversary. I'm heading more so towards wedding is what I'm getting. It's not going to be so formal. I believe maybe in here that you guys aren't that formal, but it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a party, you know, things like that, and it's heading me towards a wedding. You know, it's not going to be so much the big white dress, the church, you know, the traditional kind of thing. I feel like that's not your style, and that's, you know, not his. I feel it's just going to be informal. It's going to be fun. You know, everyone's going to love it. It's just going to be a good time. Now, that's what I'm getting with that particular card there as well with that person. So, all in all, that's what I've got for you with these ones here. Any questions or concerns, feel free to, you know, PM or comment below or anything like that. So, I hope you did enjoy it. Okay, thanks. Bye.